Hi everybody, I'm Mary Risley from San Francisco, and today I'm going to show you how to cut up a chicken. But first we're going to roast it whole, because chicken always tastes better when it's cooked on the bones. Never buy a boneless, skinless anything that has to do with chicken, because it's got the flavor comes from the bones, okay? So what you do is you put garlic and salt, and what you want to do is the salt acts as friction, breaking up the garlic and making it into a paste. This is a big piece of butter. Thank goodness butter's back. We love butter. And I'm just going to mix this up with my fingers, and make garlic butter. So do you wash the chicken before you cook it? Wash it if it comes in a shrink wrap. If it's been frozen and it's got a plastic bag and juices around it. If it comes fresh like this, this is a Mary's chicken, there's no need to wash it. But you do need to check it out to make sure there's no little pieces of liver or something on the inside. So tuck the wingtips under and put some butter. Butter all over my little baby chicken here. And then I'm going to take this and put it over here like that. And we're going to put some rosemary around the outside. I'm going to put this in a 500-degree oven for an hour. 500-degree oven for an hour, and you don't have to baste it. You don't have to do anything. Just stick it in the oven. So this is the chicken that I already started an hour ago. You see the way the leg is kind of shriveled back there? So you could wiggle to see if the chicken's done. You could put a knife or a fork down right by the bone, the leg or thigh bone, to see if it's pink or white all the way through. That looks pretty darn good. And so what I'm doing is just loosening it from the bottom of the pan with a sharp metal spatula. And I'm taking a wooden spoon and putting it in here and lifting it up and getting any excess juices out. Okay, so this is my roast chicken. It's allowed to rest for 10 minutes before we cut it up. Okay, when you let this pan here rest for 10 minutes, the fat comes to the top after the juices cool. But there's not a whole lot of extra fat here because it was not a caged chicken, it was an outdoor chicken. So I'm pretending to spoon off the juices. And this is a little extra burnt rosemary thing, so I'll take that away. Okay, now do you see what I have here? I'm going to put a little white wine here. It's a hot pan and cold liquid. Could be wine, water, just to dissolve the brown stuff on the bottom. That's called deglazing. First you degrease, then you deglaze. Okay, and this is my trick that I learned from Florio on Fillmore Street. So what I'm going to do is I'm bringing this to a boil. My chicken juices with butter, salt, pepper, and rosemary, bringing it to boil to cook off the alcohol. And what they do at Florio is they roll potatoes in these chicken juices. These are boiled Yukon potatoes, and then I'm rolling them over in chicken juices. Now I'm going to turn the heat off, and we're going to do smashed potatoes. So I'm putting it back in the oven for a few minutes, just to get it rewarmed, because the potatoes were boiled ahead of time. And now the chicken has cooled for 10 minutes, and I'm going to show you how I cut up a chicken. This is the breast. These are the legs. These are the wings. So what I want to do is I want to cut out the backbone, not the breastbone. So I'm going to turn the chicken over on like this. This is where the bottom of the chicken was on the, and I'm going to take some regular kitchen shears and cut down to one side of the backbone, and then cut down the other side of the backbone. Here's the leg and thigh and the breast, so I'm going to cut the skin like this, and you can see where you can kind of cut it right down there, where it's a natural place where it kind of is thins part. So how's that? There's a quarter of a chicken. And take off this little blanchy looking thing, white looking thing. There's a half a chicken, okay? And if you want, and so I'm doing the same with this one. I'm cutting it, just cutting the skin. Try and keep the skin whole. And there's a kind of a natural place in here where it looks like it's pretty easy to separate. So you can do that right there with a strong knife. Okay, now watch this. So this, if you wanted to make it into 8 pieces, what you can do is you can cut down between the leg and thigh and open it up a little bit, and then see where the joint is, and there you have the 2 pieces. And then over here, what they like to do in France, which I think is a really good idea, is they leave a wing and part of the white meat. And then they have this white meat is triangular. So to make it into 8 even pieces, you can do like this. So if you're making this dish ahead, this is juices. And if you're making it ahead, you cut up your chicken, you put in your potatoes, and you reheat it like this. But the most important thing is to make sure that you get all the juices from this plate. Where I cut up the chicken, you pour in all the juices. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it on this warm plate here. And this is clean arugula. Always have a little frame around your plate. Always have nothing served on the edges. And this is our main course dinner. Now, and watch this. All the juices going back into the pan. Oh my God, this looks so good. Here you have my interpretation of chicken from Florio. And if you would like the recipe, go to tantemarie.com. And there are 350 recipes on my website and 35 YouTube videos. The most important thing is to have fun cooking.